All right, guys, I'm going to work out a few problems here with negative exponents. I'm going to follow the same rules that you have at the top of the notes. A negative exponent just simply moves the variable from one location to a different location, and it turns positive. So with example number 1, the 5 is going to stay exactly where it is. And I'm going to go ahead and set up my underline to create a fraction. X to the negative second power. The negative exponent is going to move the x to the bottom of the problem and then turn positive. Y to the sixth is already positive, so it stays, and I'm going to slide it over to the 5. Z to the negative 4. The negative exponent is going to move the z variable to the bottom and then turn positive. And there's our answer for number 1. Let's look at example number 2. Example number 2, the 10 is negative, but the negative in front does not move the 10. It has to be a negative exponent to move the 10. So the negative 10 is going to stay exactly where it is. The a variable has our understood 1 exponent. Since it is a positive 1 exponent, it also will stay right where it is. The b has a negative 3 exponent. The negative 3 is going to move the b variable to the bottom and turn positive. C to the 7th power, a positive 7, means the c will stay on the top. And we now have our final answer for number 2. Number 3 already has a top and a bottom. So let's see what happens here. The 3 and the 5, if we try to divide that on our calculator and math enter, let's see what happens. 3 divided by 5 is our decimal. Math enter gives us the same fraction. It does not reduce anymore. So 3 over 5. X to the negative second power, the negative exponent will move the x to the bottom and turn positive. Y to the negative 6, the negative exponent will move the y to the bottom and turn positive. Z to the negative 9, the negative exponent will move the z to the bottom and turn positive. And we have our final answer for number 3. Number 4 also has a top and a bottom set up for us already. So I'm going to use the same approach I just did for number 3. 18 over 15. I'm going to divide that on our calculator. 18 divided by 15. Math, enter, but this time it does reduce to 6 over 5. 6 over 5. The x to the positive 5 with a positive exponent, it stays on top. Y to the positive 3 with the positive exponent, it stays on the bottom. Z to the negative second power, the negative exponent, will move the z variable to the bottom and turn positive. And our final answer for number 4. Okay. 2 more examples to practice with our negative exponents. Number 5 will be very similar to number 4. Negative 14 on top, positive 20 on the bottom. So I will start off with the calculator. Negative 14 divided by 20. math, enter, enter, and we see that it does reduce to negative 7 over 10. Negative 7 over 10. I like to try to go in alphabetical order with my variables. X to the negative second power, negative on the bottom, is going to move the x to the top and turn positive. Y to the negative ninth power, negative exponent, is going to move the y to the top and turn positive. Z to the negative eighth, negative exponent, is going to move the z to the bottom and turn positive. And we have our final answer for number 5. One more example to finish up our negative exponents. Number 6. Continuing with the same calculator strategies, 36 divided by 9. 36 divided by 9 is a whole number. We need not use math enter enter because it divides out perfectly. So I will write 4. I'm not going to put a bottom to this yet since that did not give me a fraction. X to the negative third. The negative exponent will move the x up top beside the 4 and turn positive. Y to the negative fifth will move the y up top beside the 4 and the x and turn positive. Z to the negative seventh power will move the z to the top beside the 4, the x, and the y and turn positive. And our final answer for number 6. Thank you, everybody.